Welcome to Daily Stoic Practice. Today, we're diving into something profound: 9 critical mistakes that can reshape not only the way you see relationships, but the way you see yourself. These aren't your typical relationship tips. These are principles deeply rooted in centuries of Stoic wisdom. Wisdom that prioritizes strength, resilience, and above all, self-mastery. The Stoics believe that true wisdom isn't about reacting to life's circumstances, but about controlling one's own mind. Imagine this. What if you could approach every relationship feeling secure, free of the fear of losing yourself, and confident in your values? What if you could maintain the core of who you are, no matter who comes into your life? This isn't just about connecting with others, it's about connecting more deeply with yourself. In this video, we'll walk through 9 transformative principles that have the power to elevate your relationships and enrich your sense of self, if you truly understand and apply them. These principles, they're guides for building relationships that respect your boundaries, encourage growth, and uphold your integrity. You'll discover how they can help you avoid common traps, maintain your self-respect, and navigate relationships with strength and clarity. So, if you're ready to take an honest look at yourself and understand the timeless insights that have guided some of the wisest thinkers in history, you're in the right place. Let's begin with 9 things a wise man should never do with women, according to the enduring wisdom of Stoicism. If this resonates with you, hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Now, let's dive into these transformative principles together. Principle 1. Don't overshare your past. The past is indeed a powerful teacher, but it can also be a double-edged sword. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, reminds us, accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together. In other words, our past experiences shape who we are, but they don't have to define us. While sharing parts of our past can build trust, revealing too much can make us vulnerable, misunderstood, or even misjudged. Let's explore how keeping certain parts of your past private can actually strengthen your relationships and create a deeper sense of trust over time. The Stoics deeply valued self-control and believed that wisdom comes from knowing when to act and when to hold back. This principle applies to our emotions and personal histories as well. By choosing what and how much of our past to share, we maintain control over how others perceive us. Revealing too much, especially the painful or challenging parts, may lead others to see us through the lens of those hardships. Even with the best intentions, oversharing can inadvertently shift their perception, coloring it with details that don't truly represent who we are today. Sharing your struggles in small, controlled amounts allows you to gradually build trust. Instead of overwhelming someone with information, it lets them understand you over time in a way that feels natural and balanced. Let's consider Jack's story. Jack is a successful entrepreneur who meets someone he truly cares about. Wanting to be completely open and honest, he shares every setback, every failure, every painful moment he's ever faced. His intention is to build closeness, but what's the result? Instead of fostering deeper understanding, his openness begins to create an unintended impression. His partner starts to see him more through his past struggles than his present achievements. Slowly, what he meant as honesty and trust building becomes a source of vulnerability. She begins to see Jack as less resilient, as someone carrying a heavy past, rather than a strong individual moving forward. Over time, Jack realizes that by sharing too much, he's lost a part of his mystique and strength. Your past is an important part of you, but it doesn't have to define you. Think of it as something you guard with care, revealing only what's necessary to build a balanced trust. When you practice self-control and sharing, you create the space for understanding and respect to grow naturally. Start by considering what parts of your past truly need to be shared to enhance trust and connection. Ask yourself, does sharing this detail strengthen our relationship, or is it simply a need to offload my own burdens? Not everything from our past contributes positively to the present relationship. When you decide to share, Keep it brief and purposeful. Avoid lingering on negative details. Instead, highlight the lessons learned and the growth achieved. For instance, you could say, "I went through some difficult times, but they taught me resilience and helped me become who I am today." Pay attention to how your partner reacts. If they seem uncomfortable or unsure, that's a signal that they may need more time to understand you fully before delving deeper. Allow the relationship to progress at a pace that respects both of your comfort zones. Understanding how to navigate the past and knowing when to share is indeed an important skill. But just as crucial is learning to be at peace with yourself, even in solitude. This brings us to the next principle: facing the fear of solitude and discovering how it can be one of the most empowering things you'll ever do. Principle 2. Don't fear solitude. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "The best companion is a sound mind." In relationships, many people fall into the trap of seeking comfort simply because they fear being alone. But what if solitude wasn't something to fear? What if instead, it could be a source of inner strength? Today, we'll explore how embracing solitude can help you build healthier, more fulfilling relationships. The Stoics deeply valued self-sufficiency, seeing it as a powerful asset in living a balanced life. They taught that relying on others for happiness often leads to disappointment, as external sources of comfort and joy are temporary and unpredictable. Instead, they encouraged finding contentment within oneself. Cultivating this self-contentment, especially in solitude, creates the foundation for inner stability. When you're comfortable with solitude, you approach relationships from a place of wholeness rather than neediness. You're no longer seeking validation or reassurance. Instead, you connect with others because you genuinely appreciate their presence, not because you need them to fill an emotional void. In this way, solitude builds a strong, unshakable foundation for healthier relationships. Consider Alex's story. Like many, Alex has always feared being alone. Over the years, he found himself constantly jumping from one relationship to another, avoiding even a few weeks without someone by his side. However, each relationship ended for similar reasons. He was too dependent, too eager for validation, and too fearful of facing himself. Eventually, Alex decides to take a break from dating and commits to spending a full year on his own. During this time, he reconnects with himself. He picks up hobbies he had long forgotten, focuses on his career, and explores his own values and goals. Slowly, he begins to appreciate his own company. By embracing solitude, he gains clarity on what he truly wants in a partner and in life. When he finally meets someone new, he approaches the relationship with a sense of completeness, free from dependency and fear. Being alone does not mean being lonely. Solitude is a powerful tool for self-discovery, a way to understand who you are, what you value, and the kind of person you want beside you. Embracing solitude builds a confident, grounded sense of self, enabling you to approach future relationships with strength and independence. Start small. Set aside time each week to do something you enjoy alone, whether it's reading, working out, cooking, or exploring a new hobby. Over time, you'll grow more comfortable in your own company and discover that solitude can be both fulfilling and enjoyable. Consider what it is about being alone that bothers you. Are there insecurities, fears, or emotional needs that surface? Facing these fears directly is a powerful step in emotional growth. The Stoics believed in confronting inner discomfort head-on, as this builds resilience and a deeper understanding of oneself. When you're ready to enter a relationship, remember that being with someone should always be a conscious choice, not a necessity. Aim to connect with people who add to your happiness, rather than those who simply fill a void. Solitude teaches you to be selective, to seek partners who bring respect and genuine value to your life, rather than needing others to validate your self-worth. Mastering solitude is a powerful step toward inner resilience. It builds a solid foundation that allows you to approach relationships with clarity and purpose. But solitude is only part of the journey. In a world that often demands too much of our time and attention, knowing how to guard your time and prioritize yourself is equally essential. Let's move on to Principle 3, where we'll explore how the Stoics approach time management and personal boundaries. Principle 3. Guard your time. Time is the one resource we can never get back. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, reminds us, time is precious. Treat it wisely. In relationships, it's all too easy to lose track of time, especially when you're deeply invested in someone else. But without careful boundaries, you may end up sacrificing your own priorities, your own goals, and ultimately, your sense of self. Today, we'll explore the Stoic approach to time management and why guarding your time is essential for a life of purpose and fulfillment. Stoicism teaches that time is fleeting, irreplaceable, and perhaps our most precious asset. Every day presents us with an opportunity to improve ourselves, to grow, and to make meaningful progress toward our personal goals. When we give away our time too freely without considering our own needs, we risk being left feeling empty, even resentful. A Stoic approach is to treat time as you would treat your health or well-being, viewing it as essential to your self-respect and sense of purpose. Guarding your time, therefore, is not just practical, it's a form of honoring yourself. Consider Tom's story. Tom is a dedicated professional who has recently started dating someone new. At first, he's thrilled, devoting much of his time and energy to this new relationship. He adjusts his schedule to accommodate every moment with her, even at the expense of his own routines. Before long, Tom is skipping his morning exercise, neglecting important work projects, and losing touch with his close friends. Months pass and he begins to feel unbalanced, as if he's lost a part of himself. His own goals and passions have taken a back seat, and with them his sense of fulfillment and purpose. Recognizing this, Tom eventually learns to set healthy boundaries. He prioritizes his morning routine, focuses on his career goals, and makes time for his friendships. Now, instead of losing himself in the relationship, he brings his best, most fulfilled self into it. Time is much like money. Once it's spent, you can never get it back. However, when you invest it wisely, it becomes a source of energy and fulfillment. Protecting your time is a way of ensuring that you stay connected to what truly matters. Begin by identifying the activities that are essential to your personal growth and well-being. These could include exercise, reading, skill building, or creative pursuits. Set these activities as non-negotiable parts of your schedule. Treat them as commitments to yourself, ensuring that they're not sacrificed in favor of external demands. In relationships, remember that meaningful time together is far more valuable than simply spending hours together. Seek to balance your time in a way that nourishes both the relationship and your personal goals. Protect the time you need for yourself so that when you are with others, you're fully present and fulfilled. At the end of each week, take a few moments to review how your time was spent. Ask yourself, are you investing your time in things that add value to your life? Or is your time slipping away on activities that don't truly serve you? By understanding where your time goes, you can make adjustments that allow you to spend it with greater purpose and intention. Protecting your time is a powerful step toward self-respect and personal fulfillment. When you guard your time, you're really prioritizing what matters most to you. Yet while we protect our time, it's equally important to recognize and honor our own accomplishments. This brings us to our next principle, celebrating our achievements without seeking validation from others. Let's explore how the Stoics advise us to appreciate our own progress with humility and strength. Principle 4. Value your own success. One of the fundamental values in Stoicism is self-confidence, the ability to recognize your accomplishments without needing validation from others. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, reminds us, "No man is free who is not a master of himself." When you learn to value your own achievements, you empower yourself and strengthen your sense of purpose. Today we'll explore why celebrating your own progress, independent of others' opinions, is essential for a fulfilling life. The Stoics believe that our true value doesn't come from others' opinions, but from our own actions and efforts. Building confidence from within, from our own recognition of our achievements, creates a stable foundation of self-worth that isn't easily shaken. When we rely on external validation, we place our happiness in the hands of others, which makes it fragile and unpredictable. However, by acknowledging and valuing our own progress, we keep ourselves grounded and motivated. Self-recognition allows us to celebrate our growth and successes, large or small, without needing anyone else's approval. Let's consider Ben's story. Ben is a talented artist, passionate about his work. Yet every time he finishes a painting, he eagerly waits for praise from friends and family to validate his abilities. For a while, this external praise keeps him motivated. But one day, his friends are too busy and he receives little feedback. Ben is crushed and starts to doubt his talent, questioning whether his work is really good enough. It's not until Ben learns to appreciate his own progress that he finds lasting peace in his art. Instead of relying on others to define his worth, he starts to focus on his own growth and the joy he finds in creating. Over time, he realizes that the fulfillment he seeks lies in his own appreciation of his journey, whether praised by others or not. Relying on others for validation is like building a house on sand. It's unstable and temporary. A strong foundation is built when you can find pride and joy in your own efforts, independent of others' opinions. At the end of each day or week, take a few moments to reflect on your accomplishments, whether big or small. Write them down, acknowledge them, and allow yourself to feel a sense of pride. Self-reflection helps to reinforce the value of your actions and reminds you of your own progress, no matter who notices. Instead of waiting for others to recognize your efforts, set small, achievable goals for yourself. Celebrate each milestone as a step forward in your journey, regardless of whether anyone else acknowledges it. Setting personal milestones empowers you to recognize your own growth. Focus on goals that hold personal meaning to you. Pursue accomplishments that satisfy your inner values and priorities, rather than those that seek external praise. When you achieve something meaningful to you, the satisfaction will be far more rewarding than any praise from others. Let your motivation come from within. Valuing your own success builds a steady confidence, creating a foundation of inner strength. But as we pursue our goals, relationships and daily life can often test our limits, especially when it comes to maintaining mental peace. This brings us to our next principle: fiercely protecting your mental health and ensuring that it remains a priority. Let's look at how the Stoics approach this essential aspect of well-being. Principle 5. Safeguard your mental health. The Stoics taught us that peace of mind is priceless, a foundation on which a fulfilling life is built. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most renowned Stoic philosophers, reminds us to protect our inner fortress. Relationships should provide support and strength, not stress and disruption. When someone compromises your mental peace, it's time to set boundaries. Today, we'll explore why safeguarding your mental health is non-negotiable for a life of resilience and purpose. In Stoicism, peace of mind, or ataraxia, is seen as one of life's highest achievements. The Stoics believe that mental tranquility is the foundation of a balanced and purposeful life. However, allowing others to disturb this peace can pull you off your path, creating inner turmoil and uncertainty. Protecting your peace of mind often requires setting boundaries. It means understanding your limits, knowing when to say no, and ensuring that you're not allowing others to dictate your emotions. Safeguarding your mental health isn't just about avoiding stress. It's about maintaining clarity and control over your own life. Let's consider Sarah's experience. Sarah deeply cares for her partner, but over time she notices that he often brings negativity into their conversations. He frequently criticizes her choices, points out her flaws, and sometimes even blames her for things beyond her control. As weeks go by, Sarah begins to feel anxious, emotionally drained, and increasingly unsure of herself. Eventually, Sarah realizes that her well-being is suffering, and she decides to set some clear boundaries. She explains to her partner that she values positivity and constructive feedback, and she takes steps to limit discussions that are harmful to her peace. By prioritizing her own mental health, Sarah regains her strength, confidence, and sense of self-worth. Your mental health is not negotiable. When you allow others to control your emotions, you lose control of yourself. Setting boundaries is essential for protecting your peace of mind, enabling you to maintain a healthy self-image and build stronger, more respectful relationships. Define the types of interactions and conversations that uplift you and bring positivity. When someone crosses these boundaries, gently steer the conversation toward a more constructive topic or, if needed, take a break. Protecting your peace often means knowing when to disengage. Make time for regular self-care activities that nourish your mind and bring you relaxation. This could include meditation, journaling, spending time in nature, or engaging in a favorite hobby. Regular self-care reinforces your sense of inner peace and keeps you grounded, even amid external challenges. If someone in your life consistently drains your energy or adds stress, consider reducing the time you spend with them. Set firmer boundaries, allowing yourself space to protect your mental well-being. Remember, maintaining your peace doesn't mean avoiding others entirely, but learning to manage your exposure to negativity. Maintaining peace of mind is crucial for building resilience and strength. Yet, while protecting your mental health is essential, it's equally important to live authentically, staying true to your own values and beliefs, rather than bending to others' expectations. This brings us to our next principle: living courageously and authentically. Let's explore how the Stoics approach this fundamental part of life. Principle 6. Stay true to your values. One of the core principles in Stoicism is integrity, the courage to stand firmly by your values even when others may try to sway you. Albert Ellis, a modern psychologist influenced by Stoic ideas, emphasized that living authentically is essential to mental health. The Stoics teach us that sometimes the most powerful tool we have is the ability to say no. Today, we'll explore why staying true to yourself is crucial for building healthy relationships and leading a fulfilling life. In Stoic philosophy, virtue is considered the highest good. It's about moral integrity and the strength to live in harmony with your own values, even if it's uncomfortable or inconvenient. Virtue, to the Stoics, meant aligning your actions with your beliefs, regardless of external pressures. Compromising your beliefs, especially to gain approval or avoid conflict, often leads to inner conflict. Over time, this can lead to resentment, either toward yourself or others, as you feel a growing distance from your true self. Stoicism teaches that living authentically, adhering to your principles and beliefs, is not only a sign of strength, but also a pathway to lasting contentment and peace. Imagine John, a man who values honesty and direct communication. When he starts dating someone new, he feels connected and at ease with her. However, over time, she encourages him to act differently around her friends, urging him to be more agreeable, even if it means pretending to agree with things he doesn't believe in. Initially, John complies, wanting to maintain harmony, but over time, he feels increasingly disconnected from his true self. Eventually, John realizes that no relationship is worth compromising his integrity. He decides to have an open conversation with his partner, explaining that he values authenticity and cannot pretend to be someone he's not. By staying true to himself, John finds not only greater respect for himself, but also a healthier dynamic in his relationship. Pretending to be someone you're not might bring short-term acceptance, but it ultimately leads to long-term dissatisfaction. Living authentically fosters confidence, trust, and genuine connections, as people are drawn to your true self, not a facade. Take time to reflect on what truly matters to you. Is it honesty, kindness, independence, or personal growth? Once you identify your core values, you'll be better equipped to make choices that align with them. Knowing your values serves as a guide in moments of doubt, helping you stay true to yourself, regardless of external influences. Start with small situations where you feel pressured to compromise. Whether it's a social event you're not interested in, or an activity that doesn't align with your priorities, practice politely saying no. The more you do this, the more natural it becomes to assert your boundaries, reinforcing your commitment to your values. Make it a habit to periodically ask yourself if your actions and decisions align with your values. This self-check serves as a reminder to live authentically and helps you recognize when external pressures are leading you astray. By consistently reflecting on your choices, you strengthen your sense of integrity and stay grounded in who you truly are. Living authentically keeps us grounded, reinforcing our sense of self. But in life, there's often pressure not only to compromise our values, but also to sacrifice our own goals to follow someone else's path. Our next principle is about not sacrificing your own journey for someone else's expectations. Let's look at how the Stoics guide us to stay focused on our unique purpose and remain true to our own path. Principle 7. Don't stray from your path. Seneca, a renowned Stoic philosopher, reminds us, "A man who is everywhere is nowhere." Each of us has a unique path and purpose, yet in relationships, it's easy to lose sight of our goals and be swayed towards someone else's. The Stoics encourage us to stay grounded in our purpose, walking confidently in our own direction. Today, we'll explore why it's crucial to hold on to your own path, resisting the trap of sacrificing your journey for someone else's expectations. In Stoicism, the concept of telos or purpose is a guiding principle. It encourages each person to discover their unique calling and pursue it with commitment and integrity. For the Stoics, life's purpose is not defined by others' expectations, but by our own deep-seated values and goals. When we stray from our own path to accommodate others, we risk losing our sense of purpose and, ultimately, our own identity. Staying committed to your path not only enhances your life, but also enables you to bring a fuller, more genuine version of yourself into any relationship. Living in alignment with your purpose strengthens your resilience, deepens your self-worth, and enriches your relationships by making you a more fulfilled partner. Let's consider the story of Rachel. Rachel is a gifted musician with dreams of composing original works and sharing her music with the world. However, she meets someone who encourages her to settle down, seek a stable job, and put her music aside. At first, Rachel follows this advice, hoping it will support her relationship. But over time, she feels a growing sense of disconnection. Abandoning her passion leaves her unfulfilled, and she begins to resent the path she's taken. Eventually, Rachel makes a courageous decision to return to her music, realizing that pursuing her purpose is not only essential for her own happiness, but also makes her a better, more authentic partner. By honoring her path, she discovers a renewed sense of purpose and joy, which, in turn, brings balance and depth to her relationship. The path that fulfills you is uniquely yours. Others may accompany you, but they should not define it. Remaining true to your goals ensures that you live a life of purpose, free from regret, and contribute meaningfully to the lives of those around you. Take some time to reflect on your core passions and goals. Write them down and assess how your actions align with them. This clarity will help you stay rooted in what truly matters to you, especially when external pressures arise. Establish a clear roadmap for achieving your goals, with actionable steps to keep you on track. Having a plan reinforces your commitment to your path, even in the context of a relationship. This way, you remain connected to your purpose, ensuring you stay true to your vision. Relationships require flexibility, but that flexibility should not come at the cost of losing your direction. Learn to adapt where necessary, supporting the needs of those around you, but remain firm in your purpose. Adjust, but do not abandon your path. Walking your path with conviction is essential for personal fulfillment and inner peace. Yet, as we stay focused on our journey, it's equally important to nurture the bonds with family and friends who have supported us along the way. Our next principle highlights the Stoic view on the value of family and close friendships, which are essential foundations in our lives. Let's explore why these relationships matter and how they provide strength and stability. Principle 8. Prioritize family and friendships. Plato once said, "People are like soil. They can either nurture your growth or hinder it." In Stoic philosophy, relationships that support and uplift us are seen as invaluable, particularly the bonds we share with family and close friends. It's easy, especially when building new romantic connections, to unintentionally neglect these foundational relationships. Yet the Stoics remind us that true strength comes from a network of support, the roots that ground us. Today, let's explore why prioritizing these bonds is essential for a balanced and fulfilling life. The Stoics held friendships and family connections in high regard, viewing them as a vital source of strength, comfort, and wisdom. While romantic relationships are meaningful, neglecting long-term friendships or family ties can leave you feeling isolated or disconnected. Maintaining a balance between romantic relationships and the relationships you've built with family and friends helps you stay rooted. It ensures that you don't rely solely on one person for happiness, which can lead to dependence and even disappointment. By nurturing these bonds, you create a broader support system that enriches your life and helps you remain resilient through life's challenges. Consider Mike's story. When Mike meets someone special, he quickly becomes deeply invested in the relationship. Over time, he starts to spend less time with his close friends and family, believing that his romantic relationship should be his primary focus. Gradually, he drifts away from the people who have known him the longest and supported him through life's ups and downs. Eventually, the relationship ends, and Mike finds himself feeling isolated and regretful. Rebuilding those connections takes time, but through the process, he learns the importance of never losing sight of his roots. He realizes that his friends and family are irreplaceable, offering a kind of support and understanding that no new relationship can immediately replicate. The people who have been with you through thick and thin are a unique and irreplaceable part of your life. By consistently nurturing these connections, you build a strong support system that keeps you grounded, resilient, and balanced. Whether it's a weekly phone call, a monthly dinner, or a simple coffee outing, make a deliberate effort to stay connected. Establishing these regular touchpoints ensures that these relationships remain a consistent part of your life, regardless of your romantic commitments. Communicate openly with your partner about the importance of family and friendships. Express the value these relationships hold in your life and encourage them to maintain connections with their loved ones as well. A balanced approach ensures that your support networks stay intact, benefiting both partners. Remind the people close to you of their importance in your life. Small gestures, like a thank you message or an unexpected note of appreciation, can strengthen these bonds significantly. Showing gratitude reinforces the mutual respect and love in these relationships, keeping them strong and meaningful. With a solid foundation of support from family and friends, you gain the strength to face life's challenges with confidence and resilience. But even with the right people around you, there's one final principle that remains essential. Never let obsession with a relationship consume your sense of self. Our last principle guides us on maintaining balance and independence in love. Let's look at how to cultivate a healthy approach to relationships without losing sight of our own identity. Principle 9. Avoid obsessive devotion. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most revered Stoic philosophers, warned us not to allow anyone to control our peace of mind. In relationships, it's all too easy to become so absorbed in another person that we start to lose sight of our own goals, values, and even our sense of self. Stoicism teaches us to love deeply, but without obsession, reminding us to keep our self-worth and independence intact. Today, we'll explore why maintaining a healthy sense of self in relationships is essential for both personal fulfillment and genuine connection. The Stoics advocate for a balanced approach to love, one that enriches your life without overwhelming it. They remind us that love, in its truest form, should not consume us or make us lose who we are. When we become overly focused on another person, we risk letting our own dreams and values slip away, gradually becoming a shadow of who we once were. A Stoic relationship encourages each partner to maintain their own identity while supporting each other's growth. Love, according to Stoic principles, is meant to elevate, not to entangle. This kind of love allows each person the freedom to pursue their unique path, knowing that true connection comes from sharing in each other's journeys, not merging them completely. Consider Lucy's experience. Lucy falls deeply in love and, over time, centers her life entirely around her partner. She begins to spend less time on her hobbies, drifts away from her friends, and even sets aside personal goals. Her world gradually narrows, revolving more and more around her relationship. But when challenges arise, she feels lost and unsure of who she is without this connection. Eventually, Lucy realizes the importance of balance. She takes steps to reconnect with her own passions, rebuilds friendships, and reestablishes her goals. In doing so, she discovers a renewed sense of self. By creating space for her own growth, Lucy becomes a more confident, fulfilled partner, able to bring her full self into the relationship without losing her identity. Obsessive devotion doesn't strengthen love, it weakens it. Real love allows each person to be their complete self, growing alongside one another rather than revolving around each other. Love that respects individual independence is a love that stands strong, built on mutual respect and inner balance. Never give up on the activities you love. Your hobbies, interests, and personal passions are part of what makes you unique. They keep you grounded, give you a sense of independence, and enrich your life outside of the relationship. Embrace them as a priority and encourage your partner to do the same. Recognize when you're starting to lose your sense of self in a relationship. Take proactive steps to reconnect with your own identity, whether through reflection, journaling, or spending time with friends. Setting emotional boundaries ensures that you remain true to yourself while still nurturing the relationship. A healthy relationship supports the growth of both partners. Encourage one another to pursue individual goals, maintain friendships, and continue personal development. This mutual independence strengthens the bond and prevents either partner from feeling trapped or overly dependent. As we conclude these 9 Stoic principles, remember that relationships are meant to be partnerships of growth and support, not a means of losing oneself. By embracing these Stoic guidelines, you not only strengthen your own sense of self, but also create a foundation for meaningful, lasting connections. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. Until next time, stay wise, stay strong, and live true to your values. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to reflect on these 9 principles of Stoic wisdom we've explored together. Each principle serves as a powerful reminder of what it means to live a life of purpose, integrity, and resilience. Relationships, when approached with wisdom, can be a source of growth and strength, but without these guiding values, they often lead to confusion, frustration, and a loss of self. In this video, we covered the importance of guarding your past, embracing solitude, valuing your time, and celebrating your own achievements. We discussed protecting your mental health, staying true to your values, holding on to your path, nurturing connections with family and friends, and finally, avoiding obsessive devotion. Each of these principles isn't just about relationships. It's about living a balanced, purposeful life that's rooted in your true self. Imagine a life where your relationships don't define you, but instead enhance who you already are, where you're grounded, resilient, and guided by your values. That's the Stoic approach, creating strong, meaningful connections without sacrificing your own identity. I encourage you to consider which of these principles resonates most with you. Where do you feel challenged? What small change could you make today? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's support each other on this journey to becoming stronger, wiser individuals. And remember, embracing Stoic principles isn't about being distant or emotionless. It's about approaching life with strength, clarity, and purpose. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Take these principles, apply them, and watch as they transform not only your relationships, but your life as a whole. Thank you for joining us on Daily Stoic Practice. If you found value in today's video, please hit the like button, subscribe for more insights, and ring the notification bell to stay updated. Until next time, stay wise, stay true to yourself, and keep walking the Stoic path.